Hello there. If you are struggling with understanding what foundation you should use, what mistakes you're possibly making, and maybe you're even struggling with friendship, yes, friendship, then listen, you are in the right place at the doggone right time. Tonight, I'm going to teach you how to find your right foundation and give you a few foundational things about friendship. But I am not doing it alone. Tonight, I got my good sister friend Roslyn Rene, and I am telling you, tonight is going to be so fruitful that I'm scared myself. I don't even know if we're gonna make it through all the makeup, but it's gonna be super duper fruitful. While we give you guys a basic beat, we are going to give you some fruit as well. So come on in. I am excited to have you. Listen, let me know where you at in the comments, okay? How was your day, y'all? I had a long day. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am pushing through right now. If push through was a person, hello, it would be me. Okay? Happy Tuesday. So go ahead and light up the comments so that I know that you're here. Because the comments are quiet. I need to see the comments. Okay, while you guys are lighting up the comments, I do want to mention if you don't have your matte brushes, what are you doing? Listen, if you are sitting in your mirror and every time you get ready to do your makeup, you're confused, you don't know what comes first, second, or third, then that means you don't have these brushes, okay? Your makeup brushes need to be able to guide you, not just tell you cute little names and all that kind of stuff on it. You want them to be cute and functional, all right? Now, I created matter brushes just for those beginners and intermediate learners who want to have a better makeup experience at home. The reason why these are so amazing for you is because, first of all, they are numbered in order. Okay, they work like a system. The reason I number them in order is because as a makeup artist, I know how I do makeup first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and it's so easy to do, even as an everyday woman. So they're numbered in order. They're also named so descriptively that you cannot miss. Okay, so let me just show you one. So, for example, we'll be using F2 tonight. It literally says press in foundation. If you ever pick up a brush and be like, child, what am I supposed to use this for? All you got to do is read. If you got eyes to see, then you got a brush to beat. Come on now. All right. So these brushes are super duper detailed, and they're also shaped specifically to give you the blend that you need much faster. So if you take all day doing your makeup, these brushes are going to cut your makeup time in half. So you need to visit my website, matterbrushes.com. Matterbrushes.com, and you're going to see these brushes in action tonight, because you don't want to miss upgrading your brushes. Okay, so go ahead and get your upgrade at matterbrushes.com. Okay, now listen. What's up, New York? New York in the house. Then Jersey in the house. Come on, come on. I see some fruit in the comments from Anitra. That means she got my text message. Shout out to the text crew. Pew, 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 pew. Shout out to the text crew who gets my text messages. Hey, Lawanda, that's a BU student right there. What's up, Lawanda? Miss Tiffany, that's another BU student. Hello there. Hello. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all, all month long, this month we are just kicking it. Just kick it. Y'all, that's what we doing. We are kicking bad makeup habits, okay? So we're going to give you the throwback. And that's why I wanted to do foundation and friends. Dun, dun, dun. How many of us have them friends? I wish I could see Roslyn backstage right now. She is grooving. She is moving and grooving. But listen, I'm super duper excited. What's up, Adrian? Y'all, speaking of throwback, me and Adrian had one of the best birthday parties in May. I know it was May, it's July now, but it was a 90s throwback party and it was absolutely phenomenal. We had so much fun, okay? And I got proposed to. Come on, Holy Ghost. All right. So, tonight again, you guys, I have a very special guest. Now, I would say that I could promise that we will behave, but that would be a lie. We are not going to behave. We're just gonna be who we are, okay? So I want y'all to give all your round of applause. I want to see the hand clap emojis. I see your fruit in the comments. Listen, when y'all see fruit in the comments, that means that they receive my text message. And if you are not receiving my text messages, then you are missing out. So you can real quickly text HEAT to 901-459-2866. And I remind you when I'm going live so you won't ever miss the makeup goods, okay? Because the makeup goods be fire. All right. I also send you different makeup tips. So if I see something, I'm like, oh, this will be good for them to know. Like I just recently sent them a reminder, hey, this is how you wash your brushes. Okay. So if you want to be a part of the text crew, then that's all you have to do. If you can't remember the text HEAT, just say hey or something. I don't know. Say something, but text me if you're not already receiving my text messages. Okay. All right. Standard data rates will apply. Anyway, back to my introduction. Y'all, my good sis Roslyn is here. And I want to bring her up to the stage and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. But before she does, I just want to say that this is my ace boom coon. This is my prayer partner. Not only that, y'all, she is a phenomenal just woman of God. Oh, that sounds churchy, but it is true. She is just a phenomenal woman of God. Um, and she is also a licensed therapist. Let me put all the credentials out there. She's also a licensed therapist. So we get each other together. We get each other together all the time. We have to. But I just want y'all to give her a warm welcome. Colleen said, because baby, girl, we're ready. Give her a warm welcome. Y'all welcome Miss Roslyn Rene.
Hey y'all. Oh, I'm showing boobs and everything over here. Hey y'all. That's
Hey,
my warm welcome.
Yes, sis, I'm
Hey,
so
y'all.
happy. I promise to God, out of all of the days that I can go live, I am so happy that it's with you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, because
Okay.
today has been today, and
We
okay.
got the kids to pull it together.
Woo, y'all just
I'm
don't
so
know.
excited. I have an excuse to
Yes,
put
I
on
am.
makeup today. I'm so excited.
Yes, this is really exciting. So tonight's topic, you guys, is foundation and friendship. But before we jump in, Roslyn, give them a formal introduction of who you are, what you do, and all
Okay.
those beautiful things that they need to know.
Okay, so hey y'all, my name is Roslyn or Roslyn Rene. I'm a wife and mom. I am a licensed therapist. I am a podcaster. If you love podcasts, check out the Therapy is a Christian podcast. I talk about all things mental health and God. And that was my way of really like sharing my experience as a believer in counseling because at the time there was really no talk of counseling or Christians going to counseling, let alone really Black people going to counseling when I started back in 2018. So I'm very happy it has grown so much. It has afforded me the opportunity to be a full-time entrepreneur. So I've done a ton of different things in my entrepreneurial journey over the last 3 years, full-time. Girl, today is my anniversary.
What?
Girl.
Has it been 3 years?
No, it's been one full.
Oh,
Girl, I
yeah,
didn't even. Girl,
that's what I'm like.
that
What?
lets you know. That lets you know. That lets y'all know how today went.
Right. Yes. Well,
So yeah, I've been an entrepreneur.
congratulations.
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur for a full year. That's wild. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about me. And this is
Awesome.
my sis. This is my road dog. This is my one. I'm a castle kiki kaka. And the one I'm gonna call when I'm losing it. Having a breakdown. So I am so excited to serve my sister in this way and share some things with y'all. So I am so here for it. And we get to talk about natter brushes. I mean, period, as we should. Now mine ain't the cleanest because I've been using mine, but
Mine, listen, mine have been in use as well.
Okay.
So how long? Tell the people how long you've had your brushes.
I actually got my brushes. I'll say, when did you have your retirement party? February?
No, that was March.
So I got them in March. because it was after we moved. So I got them shortly after March, and I really love them. And I am not a huge, like, I'll show y'all my brushes, my old brushes. They're in this Glamaholic, shout out to me, right? Bag. And like, I have like different brands of brushes. I got Morphe in here. I got a Sigma brush. Child, I got 15,000 brushes. Some of these brushes, I don't even know why I bought them. So, one stop shop. That's all I gotta say. Because I'm a self-taught makeup person. I am not a makeup artist. So, to have like one set of brushes is great because these YouTubers will tell you 15,000 brushes to buy, and you be like, what am I using this for? This brush is so great. And I'm like, girl, what am I using this for? So anyway, I love Meta brushes.
Well, thank you, sis. That is exactly what I had in mind when I was creating them, because I was tired of being that makeup artist who would send my students from here to glory to go and find the specific brushes. But I did that because they need to be shaped a specific way in order to get the result that you want. So
Exactly.
I'm super excited that now we can have fun with matte brushes, and it makes it super duper easy.
Yes.
So there are some people who struggle with their foundation, their makeup, before we jump into friendship. Tell me your foundation story. Like, have you found your foundation that you love? Have you ever had a bad experience, good experience? Tell us.
Yeah, so I even have some old ones in here. So my foundation story has always been a struggle because, again, like I told you, I have learned makeup through YouTube. So the way I found foundation always was going to Sephora and trying, because I'm probably an expensive makeup person. So you go to the store, you try it. I didn't really understand like the whole testing on your chest, or like knowing your undertones, or I didn't understand all of that at all. I would just buy it and I didn't like it, and then I would spend $65 on a foundation, until like I learned you need to have a foundation even in the summertime and the wintertime. And then it got easier. Then it came down to formula. So like I didn't understand formula was a whole thing. So I have pretty much dry combination skin, mostly dry skin. So where super matte or super like matte foundations I didn't understand that. And then medium to full coverage, all of those things are confusing to us women who just want to be beat. Okay,
Right.
can you just tell me the foundation that I need this? So I have two foundations that I love. I love the formula. I love the way they feel. Even though I'm dry, I really do still like a dewy matte look. I don't like to look oily. So I found like ones I've tested out that I like. But like color, like finding the right foundation plus drugstore versus luxury has always been a struggle. The drugstore brand that I've loved, that I've tried, was the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, but this was too matte for me.
Too matte, baby. You gonna look great.
It was too matte for me. And then I found the ones that I use now are Fenty. I use the hydrating longwear foundation, and then I use, this one's almost gone. The Too Faced Born This Way. So I mix these based, and this one's a little bit darker than this one. So I mix them to my current color that I need, and those are my go-to. Pretty much.
Awesome. You guys put your go-to foundation in the comments. And if you don't wear foundation, you guys, this is a judgment-free space. So if you don't wear it, just say you don't wear it. And even tell us why. Are you afraid of wearing it? Just haven't found the one for you. Now, when I say foundation, let me just give a general definition for me. Foundation is really the base of your makeup. That is what smooths and kind of like, not smooths, but rather evens the skin tone, and gives you a blank canvas to work with. Um, when I also say foundation, I'm referring to a liquid foundation. That is the formula that I prefer. So that's the formula that I most of the time teach. I do have so many women who ask me about a powder foundation because they want to look natural. Some people have cream foundations, and not all of those formulas work for everyone, but a liquid formula can work for everyone. So the first habit I want you guys to kick is the mindset that liquid is going to be cakey, like too much.
Girl, listen. Girl, I got something to say about that, but I'll hold on.
Go ahead, girl.
Well, and here's why. So, because y'all, again, when I say, if I had found Z back in 20, if she had BU University back in 2016 when I first really started dabbling, I spent so much money on makeup. But like powder foundation, you ain't gotta have that, sis. Even cream, like I've tried cream once before, but I've always really stuck with liquid. But MAC used to be my thing.
Mm-hmm.
MAC used to be every brown girl's go-to because they had more shade range.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like Rihanna came and like killed it with everything, and now everybody's wanting to be inclusive. But like literally, liquid, you can build it up. You don't have to feel like you're putting a bunch of makeup on your face. Even though people may look cakey, that doesn't mean you're gonna look cakey just because it's liquid. Liquid can be buildable. It depends on how much you put on. All the other stuff you put on top of it, was what definitely can make makeup look cakey for sure.
Yes, most definitely. So the there are three formulas, you guys. There's powder, there's cream, and there's liquid. The one that I prefer is liquid because you have the flexibility to do all of those things. And it just works for everybody because there's going to be something for everybody. Meaning that if you have dry skin, there's going to be a liquid foundation for dry skin. If you have oily skin, there's going to be a liquid foundation for oily skin. If you want your skin to still show through and it not look heavy, there's going to be a light coverage, a medium coverage. If you don't want any skin to show through, then there's going to be full coverage. So I really, really enjoy a liquid foundation because it looks most natural and you can just choose. All you have to do is just read, y'all. Just read the shelf before you pick it up and buy it. That's it. Okay, so listen, the first brush that we're going to work with inside of the matter brush set, first of all, we're going to use the brushes that start with the letter F. Okay, the letter F stands for face, so we're going to be using all of the F brushes, but the first brush inside of the set is the F1E1 brush, which is double-ended for concealer. And with that, you can also use this for corrector. Everybody doesn't use corrector. Roslyn, do you use corrector? No. Okay, so we're going to skip this brush. So if you don't use corrector, you can just skip that brush. And we're going to move on to F2. F2 is what I showed you when we first started, which is the press in foundation brush. I freaking love this foundation brush, okay? And you literally just use it to press in your foundation for an airbrush finish. Now, when your brush gets to gathering like this right here, it means it's time for it to be clean.
That's not like that yet.
So do as I say and not as I do, okay? Now, are you a back of the hand girl, or do you just put your foundation on your face, or you put it on your brush?
So I'm back of hand, mix, dab on my face.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes I'll do this, but for demonstration purposes, we're not doing that. Okay. We're not do as I say.
No,
don't do as I say. I mix it on my hand, y'all, but we're not gonna do this. We're not.
Sis, go walking like you talking. Go walking like you talking. Don't be shaming in front of the people.
But I am gonna put primer on.
Okay.
So I use primer. I love this milk. Again, y'all, you don't have to do what I do as far as like how I spend coin. But this was a sample, and baby, I got two, so I use it, and I love it. So it's
I got me a little sample too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at you!
I should do. The only reason why I'm not going to prime tonight, though, is because I'm literally not going anywhere, and there's just that on it. But
that's part of the process.
I'm gonna start with. I did put my foundation on my brush, and I'm just gonna start by getting it out all
now.
up.
I do eyebrows first, see.
I do eyebrows last.
That is different for me to not ever start with eyebrows.
Yeah, I be doing eyebrows last. But you can still use that first brush to sculpt your eyebrows if you're gonna sculpt your eyebrows. Do you usually like sculpt it with concealer and stuff?
Yeah, so I always do eyeshadow first.
Eyebrows first.
Always do. So eyeshadow is usually first for me, which is
Oh,
why I do
you're talking
eyebrows.
about
So
eyeshadow
my steps are
overall.
eyebrows, eyeshadow, because I use the concealer to sculpt, um, and then I do face.
Gotcha.
Also, finding out your process to do makeup is different for everybody. So even if you do
Yeah.
eyebrows first, it doesn't necessarily mean like your look is going to be different. I don't think there's any difference with it.
Yeah. So I like to do brows last just because when I do brows first, I tend to take a little bit more time on my brows. So in order to kind of speed up the brow process, I do it last. Plus I practice my brows so much that I don't have to concentrate so much.
Oh yeah,
Which is what I try to teach my students too. If you perfect your brows, then it'll make your process go a lot
it,
faster.
it makes such a difference.
It makes a huge difference. So while we're applying our foundation, what do you feel is a good foundation for friendship?
Oh, this is a cute question. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. Oh,
Girl, shut up.
oh my God, how cute, baby! I'm waiting on the game to come out. Okay. Um, sorry.
That's so bad.
So I think so. I have learned so much from friendships over the last years, over the last like couple years, really ever since I got married. And I've learned that I think one of the biggest things is you have to, for yourself, know what you want in a friendship and
Right.
advocate for that. Because I think a lot of times, especially as adults, we don't really know or really tend to try to advocate for our needs in general. And really in friendships, friends are your extended family, if or sometimes it's not your first family.
Right.
So with that being said, I definitely think communication is big, and deeper in communication is being able to know your capacity to pour into your friendships, trust, the ability to be an active listener. So like y'all know those people, and I can be that person sometimes. I ain't even gonna front. But like those people where you pour out all your issues, and then as a way to support, they'll tell you their issues. It's like, girl, I know I'm going through this too. And that's not a way to help you. It's like, girl, that's not helping me. That's just
Right.
letting you know we're in the same boat. So
Right.
active listening. And I think I actually learned that from you, because Z is an active listener. She really likes to say, okay, how do you feel? I'm sorry you feel that way, sis. Is there anything I can do to help? Or like ask you questions. So I think you have to really know what you want in friendships, and you actually have to show up,
Okay.
because that's the other part. If you don't show up, then there's no reciprocation. And I think that's a big part that can create resentment very quickly.
Okay. So let's slow down because
Okay.
you just dropped a lot of terminology
It
before we
should.
even get to the fruitfulness, which
Okay.
first, the first foundation is communication.
Period.
Okay, you said communication, but you also mentioned the capacity to do so. So understanding and assessing your needs as a friend. But I think that that's so challenging because we've never had to do that. When you grow
No.
up and you make friends, you're not thinking about your capacity. You're just thinking about, I want a friend, I want a companion, I want somebody to talk to, share with, all that kind of stuff. But as an adult, as we move into the next phase of life, whether it be in your 30s, your 40s, 50s, whatever age you are, as you go into that next phase of life, understanding your capacity and also understanding that your friend may have different capacity at the time, I think is huge as well.
Yeah.
Um, and you
100%.
and capacity as far as trusting and to be an active listener, you have to be self-aware
Oh, absolutely.
because I think that even though you say that I do that, I learned that a lot from being friends with you.
Oh.
Yeah, just being able to be an active listener, to be attentive, I've told you this several times before, like, you really teach me how to be a really good friend because you're so intentional about making sure, and I don't know if there's a therapist in you or what, but just make
I
sure,
feel like a lot of things are the therapist in me, child, but
you
I
know,
pay good money for that degree, so I'm gonna use it
hello.
the chance I get.
But I think that your intention to make sure that I feel heard and
Oh
seen,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to be self-aware enough to reciprocate that same intentionality, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want it to be an uneven friendship. You get what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't want you, to be a good friend to me and then I not be a good friend to you.
Oh
So it
yeah.
makes me stop and say, what are you asking?
Mm-hmm.
Are
Well,
you
and I think too, a lot of things can come from modeling. Like there are things I've gotten from you. There are different things I've gotten from other people that I just admire. That I'm like, okay, I want to do that in my friendships more. But I think, especially when it comes to actively listening or being intentional, I like naturally in general people. So you show up for other people the way you would want to be served. So like that's why the love languages is such a thing because we give in whatever way we like to be given to. So if you're
right,
a word affirmation person, you more than likely are gonna affirm other people. But everybody doesn't always need that. And so intentionality for me is to care for my friends in a way by, hey, how are you? Hey, what can I do? Hey, is there something you need? Or like hearing them out. Because the other thing about friendship too is that things happen in seasons. So
right.
like I could be having a bomb season, killing it, and then having a very poor season another time. And so I think it's really about learning to, for yourself personally, knowing what you need and really also showing up for people in the way that you want to be seen, but also really just telling people what you need because I think there becomes a lot of resentment in friendships or even just we feel like people aren't there for us because we feel like we're a burden. And in all actuality, people really do want to be there for you. You just have to voice it or say like, hey, I need this from you. And that just goes along the lines of communication and self-awareness. I can't tell you, hey, I need you to just listen to me. Hey, I don't really need advice right now. I just need you to, girl, tell me what, girl, is there anything I
Hmm.
can do? Like other perspective if I don't have that awareness for myself. And so
Yeah.
I think people could look at maybe our friendship and say, oh, I wish I had that. But it takes time because me is even friends for like 3 years now,
Yeah.
3 years now, 2 or 3 years now. But we were also both in like we were both in therapy.
We were in work, baby. We were in labor.
But also like I had been through a lot of different friendships that were not so great. So I knew
Right.
what I didn't want to have. I think in your 20s, you go through your turn up season, all that kind of stuff. You don't know what real life about until you kind of like deal with life for yourself and then you can show up and advocate for that.
No,
So,
totally.
yeah.
I think kind of two things that I gathered from that. The first thing was, um, what I heard was we kind of need to be friends to ourselves.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way I can expect you to be my friend if I'm not being a friend to myself. And what does that look like? How am I, giving myself active listening, if that makes sense, right? How am I seeing myself, hearing myself, making sure that my needs personally are met? If I don't know how to rest when I'm tired, I can't expect you to allow me rest when I'm tired. Meaning I can't call you all the time. I can't play on the phone with you all night,
Oh, yeah.
while while things are trying to be produced. So I think that being a friend to yourself is what I kind of heard you say, in that, which is just really practicing and heightening self-awareness. Yeah, I put some fruit in the comments because baby,
Period.
listen, we don't went from the
No,
grass to the soil real quick,
no, really.
okay?
Yeah. You do have to be a friend to yourself and you also have to know your personality type because tolerance is huge. So if like you can't tolerate a lot of friends like being the advice person for your friends in that season, you have to be able to say, hey, I don't have the capacity emotionally to probably help. How can I support you in this way? because you'll just get annoyed and you don't know why. So you have to be
Right.
kind to yourself to understand how your personality is. Z is very independent. So it's not a lot of like having to call this man and be like, hey, you okay? Hey, like you're not finna jump off a bridge or nothing. It's like that, will you? Sometimes sis just need to talk it through. We'll jump from conversation to
That
conversation
is so true.
and then be like, okay, girl, I'll talk to you later. And then
Hmm.
they won't talk about it no more. So
Yeah.
you have to know your personality type to be able to friend yourself and friend other people as well.
Yeah, and I think too, what happens is when you are, well, we'll talk about the strong friend, but when you are not asking for, this is a segue. When you are not asking for what you need, you're literally concealing the issues, right?
Oh,
So we're gonna jump into concealer now.
uh, you know that meme when Wendy Williams was like, oh, that was that. My people who watch TikTok know what I'm saying.
You need to get out TikTok.
I love TikTok. Yeah, it's my guilty pleasure, child. Won't post a thing on there, but we'll be on there all day. Okay, I'm
Okay.
ready.
So before we jump into concealing your needs, which we kind of already talked about, we're going to talk about concealer, you guys. So my favorite concealer, you guys, I talk about it all the time, is my Milani Concealer Perfect. I love, love, love. Do you have
Me
it
too.
too?
I went and got it because you mentioned it, and baby, I used to be a NARS girl, so a NARS
Oh, yeah. I love
radiant creamy
NARS.
concealer, but this is like $30.
It is.
You see how it dropped because the Lord knew it $30.
It
So,
is.
and I go through it stuff like this one's almost empty. So this is cake. This is it right here.
Yes, I love it so much. So I'm going to apply that and I'm going to use my F3 brush to blend it in. So F3 is literally to blend and set under eye. And you can also use it for a powder as well. So once I put the concealer down, then I tap it in to blend. Then I pick up my powder to just set it as well. So do you have any advice to help someone be more self-aware?
Go to therapy. That's one. But I would say if I'm
Number
thinking
one.
of the least expensive option, um, I would say ask people around you, like, when you think about personality, what do you think? Um, and I would ask people different opinions. So this could be something random. You ask your coworkers over happy hour. You could ask your family, but sometimes family have different opinions about us. So I would ask different people to just gauge like what you're giving off. Um, but I would definitely say more so like, and I'm gonna just go real spiritual for a minute. Like God is the one that's gonna show you really who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but really it goes into like really assessing what you need. So if you're thinking of friendships, I would say, what's your mood like when you talk to certain people? What
Mm,
is your when somebody's struggling with something, how do you react? Are
that's
you
good.
someone that gets very flustered? Are you someone that gets agitated, overwhelmed? Are you someone that flies to the rescue? That lets you know in a particular way how you react to certain things. The other way I would also say be self aware is if you are married for sure, how you support your spouse, because that is big on like you being able to understand even opposite sex and way you support them. Just how you support or how you are there for other people can help you gauge self-awareness in relationships. For personally is how do you know when you're tired and how do you take care of yourself? How do you know when you are overwhelmed with work and how do you react? If you're someone that works better when you're like got a lot of things on your plate, that lets you know you may either be taking a lot on or you might not really know when a lot of times two people don't really know when they're burnt out. They don't really know when they're like too overwhelmed. So it's just really gauging, like I would say, when I was doing coaching, like teaching my students how like to know if you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big way to like know how to build self-awareness. I would also say how you talk to yourself is a real big way for you to tell like
Huge.
your self-awareness. So like if I'm, which has been probably this season the most, like really down or talking down to myself more often than I used to, my mood is shot. Like I don't really have much to pour out because I'm not actively pouring into myself.
Ooh, that's a good
And
indication.
so because of that, I'm probably negative Nancy. I probably got an attitude. I probably don't have a lot of tolerance for my own child. I barely want to play with him. And that's my way of saying, okay, I need to make a plan to get back on point A to point B. So I would say those are like some simple ways, but I would for sure say the way you talk to yourself. If the way you talk to yourself is negative Nancy, and really the way I would say you can know how you talk to yourself, would you tell your friend what you're telling yourself
In that same situation.
in the same situation?
Yeah. No, that's so good. That is so good because how you talk to the level of love you give yourself is only the level that you can give others.
Oh,
The
big facts.
level of care that you give yourself is only at the capacity you can give others. So if you don't even have it to give to you, then you can't. There's no way you can give that level of
Yeah, all of
love
that
to
translates.
others.
All that translates into your relationship. That's why I say even how you support your partner, how you um how you support friends. Like I have a ton of friends, and they're all like different. And one thing my therapist taught me was, I remember I was grieving a friendship. And I remember she said to me, I will never forget this. I always share this with people. And she was like, build your squad. Your squad needs to be people that are different. They don't all have to be the same. You can have married friends. You can have friends you talk about business with. You can have friends that you talk to about money. You can have friends that you talk to about makeup. You can have friends that you talk to about kids. But everybody may not be, you may not go talk to your friend that, has money issues about money because they're not even on the same wavelength. And it's not bad to separate people. So that helped me understand that I can have friends in way different capacities that I can call on for tons of different things. I have friends who have been through way more different things than me that if I'm having a low moment, they're like, Roslyn, it's okay. Like you got these blessings. It's okay. Like there are things that are going on outside of you. Yes, or during your life, but that doesn't mean everything is bad.
Yeah.
And so they can share a testimony or two of things, but I may not talk to them about marriage. I may not talk to them about kids. And that's okay. And so that has afforded me the opportunity to have different friends in different capacities, but also balancing those things in a way that allows me to be self aware about my needs and what I need in a different way.
Yeah, I think that that's so good. I've learned that same concept. I have different friends that I can call on for different things. I have different friends where we are stronger in one season than we are in another season because of what we're going through at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's so important for us to learn as adults because we just don't have the conversation about it. Things get awkward, and maybe there's somebody you don't want to be friends with anymore because you're growing and they're not. It doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that you guys' values are different, which is what I was going to add to self awareness. Understanding your values, the things that
Ooh,
are important to you, the things that are,
yeah.
the things that are high on your priority list, the things that mean so much to you, when you understand your values, then you know that whoever your friend is, they have to pretty much value those things as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where the respect level comes in. I can't respect someone who doesn't. I can't have the same level of respect for somebody who value different concepts and ideas than I can somebody who values the same thing.
Mhm.
So if Rosalind doesn't answer the phone, or Rosalind doesn't come to a girls' night that I invite her to, I'm not upset because I value rest and Rosalind needed rest. So
Mhm.
now there's no resentment there because we both value the same thing. Then if I'm having a bad day and I just need somebody to talk to, and she pops up and says, Z, let me just pray for you right now. I ain't mad about it because I want prayer. We believe in the same things. We believe in the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and that the blood of Jesus will work it out. Okay. So there has to be some level of like values that
Mhm.
happen, but you have to know your values. And a lot of times when you feel, and I hate when people say this, but you guys will understand what I'm saying. When you start to feel some type of way, when somebody made you feel some type of way, there is a feeling behind it, whether it's rejection, they made you feel alone, they made you feel disappointed, whatever that feeling is, it's because they violated a value. There's some kind of
And
violation.
and sometimes it's unspoken because either we didn't say anything, we didn't know for ourselves. Because anytime, like she said, anytime you feel some type of irritation or, like she said, feel some type of way, there's something that was violated in you that you may or may not know about.
Very much something. Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. So Rosalind, I put concealer underneath my brows to prep for when I do my brows. Have you ever tried that before?
No, that makes me nervous to try something different.
Well, just try it, child. We ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
Just try underneath your brows and like blend it down with that same brush. Just pat it down. You just need a little bit, but it's
Huh.
like it just gives it a lift before you even feel your brows in, so you don't have to like sculpt so much. So, like for
That's
example,
that is so different.
take your and
Oh,
just like go
I,
underneath the brow like that.
oh, so you don't use the brush.
I don't need the brush.
I'm gonna use the brush. I can't see y'all. Y'all see when you.
Bruh, just do it.
Why am I? Okay.
Just a little, that's enough. Okay, go on the other side. Boom. I just changed your life. Now put it back in there. Grab your F3
Okay.
and just
Oh yeah, my F is right here. Hold on.
just tap it in.
Okay.
Just tap it in.
Tap it. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
I've just been doing this 10 years. That's how.
you
Okay.
know.
Anyway.
Oh, you right, because it does. You somebody. You are somebody.
No start, man.
Y'all, okay, I'm giving her props. She do know what she's talking about. Okay.
Oh my
You're right.
God. Why must I fight with the people?
Because I was
Okay.
really thinking, I ain't gonna do that.
I
Okay,
know
I'm
you
ready.
was. I could see it in your face, like, I ain't doing it. Okay, so once you have your concealer down, you
Okay.
saw us just, brush over this without powder. Then the next brush is F4, which you can
Oh,
use
yeah.
to contour and you can use to apply blush. So
My
I'm
favorite
gonna go ahead.
entire world. I love to
Is it?
contour.
Me
I
too. Me too.
warm me up, baby.
Me too. So I'm gonna use this brush to contour. And I'm going to use what I want to use contour. I'm gonna
I
use
mix
my
mine. So I use I learned this when I was going to MAC. Blunt by it's a blush by MAC.
mm-hmm.
But I also
It's
use Anastasia Beverly Hills Mahogany. It's a bronzer.
mm-hmm.
And if I want really dark, I'll use Sephora bronzed. It's a matte bronzer. Not
Mm-hmm.
really, but these two are really good. I like these.
I'm gonna use my old trusty dusty, which is my black radiance in the color cafe. The bottom of the pan is showing because I use this bad boy so much. And if I don't contour nothing else, I'm gonna contour these cheeks, and I'll get to the nose in a minute. But these cheeks, honey, have to be sculpted because I look so round when I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like some my cheeks to be sculpted. So we got a question down here, girl.
Ooh, ooh, I love questions. Ask, girl.
How do you feel about someone holding onto a friendship because of history, but yet they're content and you're consistently growing?
Hmm. So I'll start because I've let go of friendships before. I think you have to know how you want to move on. Sometimes, in some ways, friendships can kind of dwindle, and you can tell. If you're someone that really wants to discuss that, I would really have that conversation. And it can be something of like, I see we've kind of moved in different directions, and there's some things that I really need to choose for myself right now. Um, and maybe like I've even had situations where I've taken a break from a friendship. It's really kind of just assessing what you really want and, being able to voice that. But again, if it's also one of those things where you feel like you can't voice it, you can decide, how you can even navigate that with how you want to communicate that. If there's someone that you don't think they're really willing or wanting to communicate, because sometimes people can take those things very personal, then you kind of have to decide how you want to maneuver with that. But you can also grow on your own. Like if you grow on your own and it dwindles, it just dwindles. And that's not necessarily your fault as an adult. So I think it's one of those things you kind of just have to either know the person. But some friendships can dwindle. Like there are different seasons and they just dwindle. Like y'all just really kind of stop talking about stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
just depends on the person's ability to receive that type of feedback. But I think if you want to grow more in friendships or find other friendships or explore the friendships, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to communicate that, sure. But if you don't, then really understanding like that may or be something they want to explore, they may not. It's always funny. I don't really know, Z, you may have a better answer than me, but like in the two situations I had that I had to literally cut off friendships. One, I don't think I handled it really that well, but we just stopped talking. And I just honestly just started ignoring her because I literally could not take it. I just honestly just started ignoring her. The other one, we had a conversation and it was a mutual kind of thing of we stopped being friends. Um, and so but I grieved. Like, even though those were needed things,
Yeah.
I very much so grieved.
Yeah. I think I mean I'm just echoing what you said, which was, basically things happen organically. So you can feel what you should and what you shouldn't do. When you don't want to go to an event with this person, when you don't feel like talking, all those things.
Mhm.
So, either you can have the conversation or you can let the friendship dissipate organically. Um, I had a friendship that just it kind of wavered and it kind of, mellowed out organically. And then eventually it came back together. Um, I have had some friendships that mellowed out organically and you don't call me, I don't call you type thing, and that just is what it is. But some people can literally cannot take you growing because they're not growing. So your level of maturity, they suffocate at that level because they're not there yet.
Yep.
But things happen organically, and I would say just let them happen organically. And grieving friendships is a real thing.
Maybe.
It is a real thing, like
This
through
and this is what it looks like.
tears.
Yeah, this is what it looks like. So I want to say one more thing. Your personality weighs on how you handle that. So if you're someone that's like very cut and dry, you're like, girl, I ain't got time to deal with this. You ain't got time to deal with this, and that's your choice. If you're someone that might think a little bit more into it, you may or may not want to talk. If you decide that it would be too much of you to talk about it, you have the right to not do that. As far as grieving friendships, what that actually looks like is I was thinking about them having random moments of like, maybe I should call them.
Mm-hmm.
Sadness that y'all aren't friends.
That's so good,
Feeling
Rising. That's the fact.
FOMO. So
That's the
FOMO,
fact.
because there the two friends that I ended up I remember, and the reason I talk about them was like they were at my wedding and everything. But the reason I say that is just FOMO. We had a lot of mutual friends, so like things would happen, they would do, I wasn't there. So FOMO, just honestly feeling random moments of I feel bad that I broke off our friendship. But that bad feeling can feel like guilt, can feel like shame, I did something wrong. But truly what happened is you're it was a loss. So you're pulling away from someone completely. So I imagine if you lost somebody that was close to you, like you talk to them every single day, your whole routine shifts, your whole like special events in life shifts. So you're grieving the loss of this happening and they're not there. It's almost like somebody dying.
Yeah,
So
no,
it feels
literally.
that. It feels like that. And it
Yeah.
could for years. Like that, it took me years to kind of get over those. Because I feel like I was the wrong person. But I really realized ultimately my values just did not align. And girl, I was just tired. If I'm being honest, I was tired.
Sick of it. I'm at a 10.
And that's when I recommend, okay?
I'm at a 10. I can't address this crowd right now. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I've added blush. I'm a blush girl.
I didn't do blush. I'm
I
gonna
use
do
the same brush to do blush. And
uh-huh.
then while you're doing blush, I'm going to introduce the next brush, which is F5. F5 is the nose and eye contour brush. You guys, this is my favorite brush out of the bunch. This is the basic beat goat right here. I crown this brush as the MVP. Okay? Or MVB. Most valuable brush in my opinion. Okay, so I take my
I mix blushes too, y'all. I use Peaches and Raisin by MAC. I love them.
oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
So I take my same contour powder that I use for contour, and I use this brush to really carve out my nose on both sides.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the key is just swinging it into the crease of the eye. I swing that same contour powder into the crease of the eye just so I can look like I really did something. And this just gets me in and out the door. So you can see the difference from this side to this side. This side has that powder there in the eyes. This side does not, or I look a little swole over here in the eye. So that's what I like to do. All right. So when it comes to let me see, our friendship, what would you say is your favorite thing? This is so girly. This is such a girly question.
Do I only have one? I can only pick one.
Top three.
Okay. Um. Okay, hold on. I can't say that one. My husband all the time. You really can't do that. I was like, I can't. Me and Z laugh at everything.
Everything, baby.
It is random. It is. We'll screenshot something and be like, "Child, this is so stupid," or something somebody that said to her or me, and I'm like, "Who do these folks think they are?" And just be like, "Girl," and it's just like the understanding is there. Even today, I was like, "I know that this is bothering you." She's like, "It's taking me down."
Baby. I'm still down. I'm still down. It's just I'm here. Okay. I'm focused on
Okay,
something else.
we can
I'm
shut
still
in.
down.
The second thing I will say is there are always things that I can pull from Z that I admire. Like this man talked to me the other day about a mental boot camp, and I was like, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Like I'm always pulling something from her that I really like learn. So it is always when you have a friend that is growing, you can always pull something from them, whether it's a random conversation, something they might buy. It just is really interesting. We always pull that. And then I would probably say, she just listens to me. This is my sister. Like, I think we were probably in heaven together, always kicking, cackling. But,
Yeah.
like, genuinely, this is my sister. And I will fight y'all.
That's enough,
Hear me
sis.
clear. Come
Back
close.
down.
I will fight y'all over this man. Okay.
Back down, sis. Calm down, killer.
I got teary eyed just then. Yeah, no,
Me
I will fight
too. That's
y'all.
why I'm trying to smile it off. Don't do that. I'm
I
just
will
trying to
fight
keep
y'all.
smiling.
I will fight y'all. But no,
Thank
like I mean that in the most genuine way because I feel like I could get an equal level of support. Like I do you not know like how hype I am for this? This is a dream come true for me. It
Oh,
is.
don't start me on that.
Okay, so it's like just being able to see the fruit of just all around, not only like just it just means something. I don't know how to describe it. You being there for somebody means so much when you are able to like see the fruit from your friendships. So I'll say that. Like that's probably my favorite thing. Okay.
Yes, fruit. Yes, fruit. Okay, my turn. My turn.
I'm going back to my nose now.
Okay, my turn. So I would say I'm gonna start from the bottom up. Number 3 would be my favorite thing would be definitely laughing about everything. I mean everything. Probably too much, but everything is funny to us. Like if we were kidnapped, we would be so tickled to just be
I
kidnapped.
don't even know, girl. They would probably be like, what?
They'd be like, drop these, drop these girls off right now. Drop these Negroes off.
We'll be checking them and probably just laugh.
Is anyway. Okay, so that's number 3. But number 2 would honestly just be um the reciprocity. Definitely. Number 2 is the reciprocity. If I call Roslyn, Roslyn is very intentional about saying, "How are you?" Like her words, "How are you?" does not mean, "Oh, I'm good, girl. What's up?" It means literally, "How do you feel today?" Meaning, like, pick a word.
Tell me
what
the story. I
Tell
need
me
to
the story.
that.
What are your feelings today? Today, I am disappointed because of this. Today, I guess I'm feeling lonely. Today, I feel, defeated. Whatever that word is, or excited, whatever it is, there is reciprocity there. I can celebrate with Roslyn. Roslyn will celebrate with me. And when it comes to these brushes, baby,
These are
the process and the journey took me up and down. And Rosalind was just right there to encourage me, to push me, to hype me up. She was my hype man in the background, like, telling me I'm somebody. And oh my God, you got your own brushes. And in my mind, I'm like, child, I'm tired. I don't even care about these brushes at this point today because I'm tired. Okay. But having her support meant a lot, and I'm able to give that back. And on the same line of number 2 is she taught me how valuable it is to pray for your friends. And I'm gonna segue that into number 1. So my favorite thing, my top favorite thing is that we are spiritual sisters. Like we're soul sisters. Like we can pray for each other. We've fasted together. We've studied together. We've believed God for the same things together. And when you walk a spiritual, I'm not gonna get toe up, but when you walk a spiritual journey together, that means, and that elevates your friendship to another level because you're in a totally different stratosphere at that point, especially when it comes to fasting together, because that's a different level of sacrifice. So
And you're not holding back. You're not holding back when you
yeah,
open spiritually, because I feel like that is a vulnerable place for a lot of people. So when you get to share that with somebody, it's really important.
yeah. And I think thank you, Lawanda. I think that the fact that we don't judge each other,
Oh no.
we can be fasting one week and then cussing about something the next week and then taking over for the 992,000 in the same day.
The Lord is still working on my mouth because it's not.
We're not together. He didn't finish. He didn't finish. He's still working. But I think that having a safe space to just be able to let our guards down with one another, while also understanding that we are striving and working in the kingdom. It's ghetto
Yeah.
over here. I want y'all to know.
Oh, Jesus.
We are striving and working in the kingdom, but to be able to let our hair down, figuratively and literally, I think that that's powerful. So this my girl, y'all. And
Yeah.
I hope and I pray that our conversation is inspiring you to evaluate your friendships, and what value they add to your life, because it's really, really important. Yeah. I love you, girl.
I love you too, girl.
Okay, so what have we done? Contour, you added blush, you did the nose contour. Okay, so
I'm waiting to do my brows, but I'm holding out.
girl, your brows are good by themselves. F6 is the next to last brush, you guys, and I just used my all over powder, my face powder for this. And the face powder I use, you guys, is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour powder. I discovered this and I really loved it. It is a matte powder, but my intention is to just sweep underneath my eyes and all over my face. And
Okay.
that way,
I'm expensive Emily over here.
oh
I have
baby.
Laura Mercier translucent powder. And what color is this? Medium deep. But
Okay.
baby, this is the goat. I'm sorry. But I need to start trying all these things you're explaining, because I ain't. I've always been intimidated. I think I've been intimidated because with drugstore, because you get to try in other places, like in sample. So I'm gonna have to do that because makeup is high.
No, yeah. I think a lot of makeup beginners really make the mistake of thinking, oh, when I buy this, this is final. So that's another makeup habit, you guys, I want you to kick. I want you to stop thinking that buying makeup is final. I want you to put
So
receipt in the comment. Put the word receipt. If you got the emoji on your phone, I want you to put a receipt emoji in the comments. Keep your receipts, receipt, because once you purchase makeup, you guys, it is returnable. Now, don't go and be trifling and use the whole thing, but you can try it after you buy it. And if it doesn't work, then you can return it. So let your guard down when it comes to your beauty and your confidence. You really, really, really have to try things. Okay. So make sure you keep that receipt, because everything won't work. How can you expect to walk? I don't even think the company expects you to walk in, choose one thing. Listen to how that sounds, y'all. The company is expecting you to walk in, choose the first thing that you see, and it should be perfect for you. You should just go by off your natural eyes, grab the first thing, and it should be perfect for you, and you should never return it, because it's gonna work. They didn't say that. They did not say that. Okay. So it is a journey. I want you to be patient, keep them receipts, and return the things that don't work. Let that guard down. There are so many of you who are stopping yourselves from your best self, from your best selfie, because you are scared to go and buy makeup. That is crazy. But no judgment. I understand. But I just want
No,
you
I
to know.
mean seriously, that was how when you said Milani, I was like, let me go on Ulta, and I think I bought one. No, because I think somebody mentioned. Dang, what was the one? What's the concealer with the little sponge tip on the top?
All of them got sponge tips. I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
Is
And
it expensive?
no, it's like a drugstore. Like a
Oh,
Goyle
with the
or something.
sponge tip. Not
It's
a
like,
brush tip.
no, it's not a brush, but you can
I know
pat
what
on.
you're talking about
Okay, I took it back, and Ulta took it back, and there was no questions. I got my money, and
though.
I
No
kept
question.
my money, and I love Milani.
It's
I
amazing.
still mess off with NARS on the long way, but I really
Yeah.
love Milani.
I mess with NARS the long way too. When my money longer. Oh, okay. All right. So the last brush, y'all, is the cheek shimmer highlight. The last brush is the cheek shimmer highlight brush, and basically you're just gonna use like a shimmery you use a shimmery cheek color. So one that I love is I have this eye face palette from a black owned cosmetic company called Amalawa Cosmetics. I
Mhm.
love this palette because it has my contour color, my blush, and it also has my cheek highlight. And I'm super thankful to Amalawa because they are actually sponsoring some of their products for Basic Beat Summer Camp, which is happening this weekend. Yes, it's
Ooh,
too late to register,
yeah.
but they actually sponsored this product, and I only send product that I love. So this is not like, oh, they sponsored this, we're gonna force ourselves to use it. If you've been watching me, then you know I use this for real. So
That's
I'm all I have to do is literally just tap into this and then tap right where I put my blush, and it gives me everything I need. It's
so I'm
amazing.
using Black Radiance. The
Oh yes.
artisan color base,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, this is drugstore, and
That's an OG.
yeah, I love this. Um,
That is an
I'm a
OG.
gold, I'm a gold girl. Anything gold is like my thing. And,
Yeah,
oh,
I
it's
love it. And this is more like a champagne. And this palette comes in different tones. So they have like a light, a medium, a dark, and then a dark deep. So it gets golder as you go deeper. So absolutely something definitely gold. And y'all, I'm gonna pop some lip gloss on. I'm not even gonna worry about my brows. Rosalind can do her brows if she wants to, but I ain't gonna worry about it.
in my brow.
But
I am gonna take one of your brushes, and put a little bit in my crease color. I mean, in
oh
my
yes.
um, I'm going to use the which one was it that oh, this one. It's the smudge. It's the E7 smudge liner. So
Oh
you
yes.
go under your eye. I'm gonna just pop it literally in my tear duct.
Yes, that's absolutely two ways you can use this brush specifically. Now, this brush she's choosing is one of the eye brushes, and it is a smudge liner brush, but you can use it two ways. You can
Yeah.
smudge the liner underneath or pop it in the corner just like she did, and it gives your eyes an extra pop. Who has their matte brushes? Make some noise in the comments if you got your brushes. Say, I got it, I got it. Hey, I got it, I got it. Hey, I got it, I got it. Period. And if you
So it
need
gave my
yours,
eye
better
like
brush
this
back.
pretty gold in a corner. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's really nice.
We
I
can
love
see it, girl. Baby,
it.
you're shining.
Shining, 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 shining. Yeah, those two different songs, but
They are. So listen, y'all. What questions do you have? Anybody have any specific struggles with friendships? I know that it can be very challenging having friends, especially as you grow older. I think one a challenge for me, which I'll share a challenge, is a lot of my friends have children. So when I want to go outside and play, they can't always go outside and play with me, and it just really takes me down sometimes. So I have to like plan way ahead. So so I have to plan way ahead, and yeah. So that's one of my my friendship challenges. And then like when I have gatherings, I be inviting other people, but it be certain people I really want to be there, and the certain people I really want to be there, they can't always make it. So I don't get upset or anything. I'm just more so like, like frustrated, but I'm not as upset at them. I'm more so frustrated with the situation. So
mhm.
that's one of my friendship challenges. What is your friendship challenge?
um currently I would say it's gotten better. Um Let me think. I would probably say there's two sizes. I think there's my brow looks bomb, baby. Okay.
It
I
does.
would
Yeah,
say
I really think it's a concealer that you put under there,
I
before
think
you
so
did it.
because this is quick. I ain't even from the front. Because I sculpt and then
Hmm.
I put all this concealer, but this looks way more natural. I'm giving you
Hmm.
your props, baby. You
Thank
know what you
you.
got.
I appreciate that.
Y'all should go buy these brushes, okay? All right.
That's so
Like,
bad.
I would say perception is big. So like there are certain things I may or may not share that's going on in my life. So I think people may think, I would say probably the struggle is like everything's always good. And I would say my struggle is sometimes either oversharing or not sharing enough. Probably be a thing. Like knowing what to share about the season without getting too many opinions, I think would be a big thing, if that makes sense. So my struggle is because I'm so self-aware, I also love to share. And so like knowing what and when to share. So I would say my friendship struggle is like knowing what and when to share and when I need to just be quiet. And I know that may not be like a friendship like everybody else's struggle.
Yeah.
But I
But
would
it's valid. It's valid, sis.
and then probably the other thing would be like having a child, and me and my husband are on a schedule, and my son is on a schedule. So it's like not so many opportunities to do as much as I probably would want to do. So I would probably say that as well.
Yeah. Bria is asking what brow pencil you're using.
Oh, girl.
Like a NYX pencil.
It is a NYX pencil. So this is the NYX.
In chocolate?
No, brunette.
Brunette.
Light for me.
Yeah, chocolate does come out light. Brunette.
It is the best. And I used to be, girl, Anastasia had me in a chokehold.
Baby,
one day
your pockets was in a chokehold at Ulta, obviously.
Because I wasn't making no money back then. Whose job did I have? I was swiping a good credit card. It's the floor, like, girl, I'll pay that back. Girl had a whole attitude with myself paying that credit card down. But anyway, here you go. We ain't gonna get into all that. Yes, this is a great pencil, and you can get it at the beauty supply store. I'll sometimes just buy two because I'm good for brows, concealer, and keeping it pushing and mashing, and it's easy. So I love it.
Yeah, I used to recommend that pencil all the time. That color and that specific pencil in brunette. And I would use it on my clients too because it's easy and it doesn't like overfill, if that makes sense. Like you really have to work hard to overfill your brows with that pencil.
Oh yeah. No,
because it doesn't come off so dark, you know?
No. And then I'm using the E6 to like use the bristle side to like brush it out and blend it. It makes a difference, girl.
Okay. Let me go to challenge. Lawanda said married friends can be challenging because I be in the streets.
Maybe. Your married friends can be challenging, but sometimes some husbands' wives want to be in the streets too. I'm telling you. If this child we have, baby, me and Nico be outside. Like we were 25. And got a little coin too. Girl. Oh, wait, and I also set my brows. You probably like doing it.
Come on.
I set my brows with Anastasia clear brow gel. You don't need this, but it's just, you see, I'm a steps person. I didn't even want to put concealer under my eye, baby. And I did, so.
You cute. Yes, funny. Yes.
But it's on the married friend, because sometimes, you know, sometimes some married couples want to be in the streets too.
They do.
They actually do want to be in the streets, what they may or may not say.
This is a different one. A challenge for me is a friend that always has something negative to say.
That's not a friend.
You know, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't going to say it like that, but
I'm going to say, I'm sorry.
Look,
I'm going to be straight up. If somebody, and you know they are, saying something negative, that's not a friend to me.
Yeah. And that goes back to values. If you value positivity, if you value
Mhm.
encouragement, inspiration, motivation, you have to be who you want to see.
And I think so let me also say this. I think there can be sometimes genuine frustration with friends. Like you can have genuine frustrations where you might be irritated with them and you may vent to somebody else about it. But if that person also is like, it becomes like gossipy or something, sometimes like I'll say I may have a genuine frustration, but it's out of concern. But it's also not something I would not go tell that person, like, I've been concerned about you. Like I've been concerned about how
Hmm.
you are and this is where how it's been coming off. Like I think when it comes to that, that's when you can say like, but if it's coming from a place of just like gossiping, that tone or that way, then that to me doesn't seem like a friend. Which, if it's also even making you show up unhealthy or not the way you want to show up in your friendships, where you feel that, that's
Hmm.
a reevaluation of what you want in a friendship or not. And
Yeah.
you do have to evaluate friendships often. Like it's not something you have to. It's not something that's like a one-time thing.
Definitely. Because again, seasons change. You're going to be in a different season and your friend is going to be in a different season. And then you may have, when you first met that friend, y'all connected on one thing, and then that one thing is no longer a thing. So it's like, okay, where do we connect now? So that's different too.
Too, by the way, I forgot to do
Please
that.
put that mascara on. You
Yes,
sacrificed too much for that mascara.
I sure did.
Another thing I wanted to just emphasize is, when it comes to making new friends, this goes along the line of making new friends, but also just evaluating the people around you. You got to first evaluate yourself, right? So the friends that you want to make are really what you are attracting, if that makes sense. I would not be attracted to, and we think about attraction in a romantic relationship, but attraction happens in all relationships. I am attracted to Roslyn because Roslyn is a mirror of my values. So what I put out is what Roslyn puts out. So I'm attracted to what she puts out. She's attracted to what I put out, which is positive energy. I'm not going to always say something negative to her. She's not going to always say something negative to me. But even if that is the case, because we're not like that, we can say, sis,
You
this,
doing too.
yeah, you're doing too much. This is what I was going for, but this is what I heard you say, and it made me feel this way when you said it. And we don't have to argue, cuss each other out, call each other out of, out of name, out of each other name.
Yeah, she has to let these braids hang.
Oh God,
Who's kidding? I'm about
it is
to
giving.
Nico sleep, so it don't even matter.
Girl, I'm trying to answer this question. Okay. So
Okay,
it
I'm gonna
does.
put you back on. So what I'll put you back in line so you can remember what you were saying.
Yeah.
Basically what I heard you say is, if I'm speaking so negative, how is this making me show up? Because if I'm negative Nancy, that means I'm showing up in a way that's probably not aligned with my values, and is that really healthy for me?
Right. Exactly.
I think also with making new friends, you have to put yourself in situations where new friends are there. So like that comes into play with like being, if you're naturally introvert, that does not mean you're antisocial. Like let me just break that down to you, sis. That does not
Yeah.
mean antisocial. Introverted means, like my sister says, I people too much. I need to kind of have some alone time. That does not mean you're antisocial. um it really comes down to like being able to put yourself in situations where you're around people and showing yourself, like understand you have a personality that wants to be seen, and I'm pretty sure people get to know you, they're like, you so bomb, girl. My brow is really giving. And so I think that so I think it's really also being open to making new friends. So like even how I met Z was through a mutual friend of ours. One of my friends that we've been friends since we had pigtails. Love her. I will fight you all over her too. But even with that, it allowed me to be in situations where I was around you, and I was like, I know her. She seems cool. I like her. And so just kind of fostered a friendship. And also friendships take intention. So if you are like looking for new friendships, make the intention, invite people out to eat. And it can be more than one person. It doesn't have to just be you and that person, but like genuinely build connection. If you really need help, girl, put a trivia game or two in there. Like have a moment where you can like cultivate conversations. So that way it doesn't feel like you're just kind of just saying things. But also just again, like people genuinely want to be your friends. Like I don't think that there's I don't know. Maybe this is just me and maybe the way I perceive, but I think people genuinely want to help and genuinely want to have good friendships. It's just really putting yourself out there and being like, girl, let's go get a drink. Let's talk about some stuff. Go do that. I know we outside now, so we can go get drinks.
Right. No, I definitely think that's true. I mean, you just have to remain open, and you can manifest friendship, when you remain open and positive about it. Let's take this last question real quick.
I'm also
I'm
gonna do my
I'm gonna okay, I'm gonna answer this first while you're doing your lips. It says my challenge is when you close friends with someone and y'all had a disagreement and falling out, and now she bad mouthing you to everyone, and now everyone looking at you like the bad guy. Okay. So
did I stop? Did I
this is
go?
not the first time that you've seen her bad mouth. I want to make sure my signal was working. This is not the first time you've seen her bad mouth somebody in this way when she has had a disagreement with someone. When she's falling out with other people, you have seen her literally do the exact same thing with other people. So you should not be shocked. Okay? Do not let this surprise you. Do not let this throw you off guard because if this is your friend, you've seen her do the same thing to other people. It's a matter of what you're going to allow to bother you. You can allow it to disappoint you, but not shake you. Because when somebody is who they are, it makes them look like the fool and not you. Because other people are wondering, okay, what part did you play? Because they already know the type of person that person is. So for me, this is just me personally. I don't waste energy defending myself, especially when it's connected with somebody who is not a kind person, who does not know how to handle disagreement. I don't have to defend myself to nobody but the Lord. So I don't waste my energy on it because I have other things to do. So I would highly suggest that you accept it as disappointment, but not act on it and feel so and deem it so necessary to defend or call and justify and why you doing this and why you doing it. They're doing it because this is who they are, and you knew that.
Yeah. I would also say that there's always three sides to every story. This story, the other person's story, and the truth. And so, with that being said, I'm gonna be devil's advocate on both sides for a minute. There's always feelings on both sides, period. And there might be certain things that somebody does or doesn't do. The way the person is reacting to it tells a lot about what really might have happened. And people project all the time. And so it sounds like, okay, I'm putting my therapist hat on. I don't know this person. I may not be perceiving this to be true. This may or may not be true. Please just take this with a grain of salt, okay? But a lot of times, too, when we badmouth other people, we're trying to gather advocates for us to validate that this is what might be happening. Something bad may have happened. But if I'm not okay, my reaction is to go badmouth you or whatnot. I want some sense of validation that I'm correct in the way that I may be reacting to this, which is where then the unhealthy part is that the conversation is happening with everybody else, but you and that person. So seeing that, things in Latrice, seeing that to be a thing, then that the camaraderie is always trying to, and I won't say it can be a victim mentality, but it also really is just like trying to find validation. And so knowing that if that's not lining up with your values, knowing that to be true, if you don't react in that way and you're feeling like you have to defend yourself often, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of
Energy.
that's a lot of weighing on your mind. That's a lot of you having to, and if this, because I can be this way sometimes, like knowing how to temperature gauge what's going on, what you should and shouldn't say, what you should text, what you shouldn't text. That's too much, and that's a lack of peace. Mm-hmm. So I would say, like, knowing this in general, if the reaction is happening outwardly and it's not happening with you, that lets you know there may be some truth behind whatever you did, sis, or whatever happened. Now, I'm not validating that, but I'm just saying I'm giving a perception. And if the bad mouthing is happening, it's not coming to you, then that's a clear indicator that this reaction is not probably the best. And so I would then say, evaluate, do I want this person in my life? And sometimes too, whether what people project and what other people receive, that's on them. That ain't got not a thing to do with me. That ain't even my business. Mm-hmm. What I say all the time is, y'all ain't paying my bills. Y'all not waking up. Y'all not wiping my butt. Y'all not making sure. Y'all don't put my clothes on every day. So if it's charging me peace in my mind, I don't have time for it. Y'all can have that. If you just feel like you want a bad mouth, baby, have at it. Do your thing. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you can let that go. It is what it is. And it may take time. You may grieve it for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you have to know what's valuable to you and what you want in your life. And if people's reaction is going the opposite direction versus coming back to you, that ain't it, sis.
Yep. And it's not your stuff. They're bad mouthing, like she said. For me, that's huge. Understanding what's your stuff and what's their stuff. That's their stuff because they're handling it that way. So I hope this helps, Latrice. Y'all, has this been good tonight or what?
I am beat.
Drop the food in the comments.
Because baby, I am giving. All I need is some earrings. Oh, I have one, so y'all just gonna see one earring on
yeah, put it. Why would you put? Yeah, I was gonna say put it on the other side.
Put it on one side, girl. Give this hoop.
Let me get my
I belong. This belongs on the tizoo.
On the tizoo. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this tonight. We created this easy beat. I know we were talking, but I promise you, it is so easy to create your basic beat with these brushes because we literally just use them in order. So even if you want to go back, go on YouTube, watch the replay. I'm telling you, these brushes are going to help you so much and make it so much easier. So visit my website, matterbrushes.com, and make sure that you grab yours now, okay? Listen, I had such a fantastic time. I needed this. This conversation really filled my cup because, baby, it was dry, okay?
Life be lifing, okay?
My cup was so dry. I'm talking about like the Sahara Desert. It was dry, but this really filled my cup tonight. It's something that's another announcement I need to say or something. Something I'm missing.
I'll say this one thing.
Go ahead.
I used to be a sponge girl, and I will still pick up my beauty blender here and there. But y'all, no lie, this has made me not feel like I have to do the most, and I actually know what I'm doing. Again, I will buy 15,000 brushes, and I know what to do. And I may be biased if I'm biased, but
You deserve.
I deserve that. I only got the vocals for it. But
She
I
didn't
look cute,
either.
and you look real cute, sis. You matter, girl. You need some work.
You matter. Okay, y'all. I still don't know what I was about to say, but whatever announcements I have coming up, you guys, as far as my next classes and the next time I'm going live, I'm going to text those out. Okay. So if you're not receiving my text message, I just remember what I was about to say. If you're not receiving my text messages, please make sure you text below. I have it here. Make sure you text HEAT to 901 459 2866. The final thing I wanted to say was subscribe on YouTube, you guys. I need y'all to go and subscribe, and I need you to watch a video or something. Okay. I don't care if you hit play and go to sleep. Let that thing play. I need them watch hours. Okay. Help me reach where I go. Okay. Go put it on your TV and walk out and go to the other room. I don't care. I need them watch hours. Go find the longest video I got and go hit play. All right. That's what I need y'all to do. I don't care if you do it all day tomorrow. I would really, really appreciate it. Okay. Okay. That's so dumb, but it's true. Okay. Roslyn, any final words for the people? Anywhere they can follow you, tell them about the podcast where they can listen to you more. If they enjoyed tonight, let them know.
You can follow me at Roslyn Rene, so the way my name is spelled right there on Instagram. Right now, I'm on a little Instagram hiatus because Instagram be irritating me, but that's a whole. We're not even gonna give that energy out.
Period. Because I ain't got it to give.
You, you understand capacity, sis. But actively, mostly on there or on the podcast. You can binge my podcast. I have over, I think, 150 episodes. A Therapist Christian, I share so much content on mental health, my mental health journey, other people's mental health journey, anything related to God. Like, that's just my jam. So you can listen to the podcast there. Those honestly the two places. So Therapist Christian podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, or at Roslyn Rene. And Colleen, I love you, sis.
We love you, girl. Well, listen, tonight has been fantastic. I love y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in, staying tuned in. All those who stayed until the end, I appreciate you guys. I love you, love you, love you so much. Let me just say a quick prayer. Father God, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, your grace, mercy, and kindness, God. We thank you for just the opportunity to center our focus on this live, God. I pray right now that from this live, friendships, our flourish friendships, our God, whatever needs to die in friendships, that they die. Whatever needs to thrive in friendships, that they thrive. Those who struggle with finding friends, God, I pray that you would give them the courage and the boldness to just be more of who they are and be courageous in being open to new friendships. Those who are struggling in their friendships, God, I speak peace right now in the name of Jesus. Those who are struggling, I speak more self-awareness, more boundaries, and I come against guilt for boundaries, God. I come against shame for having boundaries, God, and I speak nothing but healthy and flourishing friendships because it's so needed. And for those who don't know you, oh God, I pray that they would see you as a friend, that they would see you as somebody they can just simply talk to at any day, any hour about anything, God. I pray in the name of Jesus that they will open their hearts and accept you as a friend. Lord, we love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good night, y'all. Good night.